Yo!
Yo, man.
Oh boy, hold on. Please tell me your sound didn't get to come delayed.
Huh?
Say it again. Hello? Was it delayed again? This is
Didn't
funny.
be.
No, I think you're good. Okay, fuck it. All right, cool. Welcome to Targeted Podcast. Welcome to Targeted Podcast. I'm Nicholas. I'm not Nicholas. You're Nicholas. I'm Sahid. I've had a very long day today.
Dude, it's been It's been
a day.
one of them days.
It's been one of them days.
But I can tell you who didn't have a bad day on Sunday or last Thursday. The Eagles, baby. 8-0. And still undefeated.
How is your wife dealing with that, actually?
She care. She doesn't care. It only matters if she only cares if we play Dallas. That's it.
Yeah. There's a small delay to your voice and video syncing, but you sound better. So thank you so much to all who donated to getting Nicholas a better.
Nobody donated a dime, so we gotta
still a little bit delayed, but we'll work through that. One thing I also saw that was pretty cool that our platform just added is that we can now switch. Oh, I guess we can't switch orientations anymore. We could. I thought we could switch orientation. So what I was trying to do, that was lame. It's like wah wah. I was gonna play some videos, but I was trying to change the aspect ratio of the videos.
Okay.
But I can't really do that, and I thought Rishan was gonna allow me to kind of change the aspect ratio live, but it's not. So that's a cool. So we're gonna be playing some videos, and they're gonna look a little weird, but you guys will be fine. Okay, you'll be fine. So, yep, welcome. Let's get into it, man. It's been a hell of a couple of days. I'm not talking about our personal lives. I'm talking about the midterm election. So that happened yesterday, and I just completed like a long work week, and I was seeing some of the results come in. I was like, I can't deal with this right now because freaking I'm just not in the mood to kind of listen to what's about to happen. And then I woke up this morning to my surprise. This red wave that we've been talking about so far, or people have been bragging about, or the right has been bragging about, didn't really happen. I voted yesterday. And did you vote?
Of course.
You say of course, and then like 10 minutes later, he says of course. I'm totally making fun of you this for the rest of the day. So, yeah, one of the things that's very interesting about this election is that normally the incumbent president, so whoever is in like seating the seat, so whether it's Republican or Democrat, then the opposite party usually kind of does extremely well, right? We were expecting that to happen again for this midterm election, but that didn't happen, which is very, very telling. I want to play one video. Forgive the aspect ratio, but I think it's actually pretty funny. So let's play it.
The red wave that's coming is going to be like the elevator doors opening up in The Shining.
And there wasn't a red wave. This is an absolute disaster for the
I had to. I'm sorry. I wish the aspect ratio was okay in some parts, but bad in other parts. We're working through those issues. We'll get through that eventually.
Oh, we
But
got the point.
yeah, we got the point of course. But I also wanted to show one other thing too, and this is to our our visual users only. Like if you're on audio, I'll explain it. But let me share my screen right quick. And one of the things I want to point out too is just how crazy this is, right? These are all the midterm elections, right? Going back, and you see every incumbent, if it's like Republican or Democrat, the opposite party takes huge wins in like the midterm, right? And we saw this with George W. Bush, right? War in Iraq, he lost 32 seats, 6 Senate seats, right? Obama, first couple years, lost 63 seats here. Then he lost 13 seats. Donald Trump, he actually gained 2 Senate seats, but he lost like 41 House seats. And it's still to be determined for this election. Now, it doesn't mean that Republicans won't take the House, right? Or Senate, right? That's definitely still on the table, right? But this huge red wave, which was more like a red mist, sounds like a drink, a red drizzle, never came to be. So I've done enough talking. Let me hand it off to you, Nicholas. Like, what are your thoughts?
I'm very, very happy about that. But not, but you know, so I'm really trying to follow the election as the results were coming in. It's kind of hard for me to be kind of after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the headlines that I did see, the usual suspects having like runoffs and last minute countdowns. I think Arizona.
Yep.
I think there's another close one. Is it Georgia? I forget what the other. It was a couple of states. Yeah,
Georgia.
like the usual customers having like the it's too close to call. It's like stop trying to find votes and just tell us like come on.
Yeah, Georgia's gonna have a runoff in December. So
yeah,
something to keep in mind.
So but yeah, they were talking all that trash or whatever. But I think, I mean, at the end of the day, with some of the Roe versus Wade being overturned and some of the other stuff, I think that worked for the Republican Party, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my take on that.
I think what's happening too is that you're seeing Gen Z really coming out to vote. So that's some of the articles that I saw too. Gen Z really showed up and showed out. And I think Republicans, or rather the more conservative side, I'll say Republicans, they know this. And that's why you see a lot of these election laws that are happening, right? To protect the integrity of our election. Once actually they're reading the signs of the room, right? And they know that they can't continue winning elections based off of like if current trends continue, right? And that's why they're making such a big deal about election falsehoods and all this other stuff. I read an article that Donald Trump lost his shit when like he was finding out some of the election results. Yeah, he lost his fucking shit when he saw some of the election results, and yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. So
it disgusts me that he is like trying to run again too. Like, I mean, dude,
yeah,
you lost.
He should be in jail.
Like that they need to just go ahead. If you ran and won, you can't run again. I mean, just for people like that, man.
Yeah, let me ask you this: is Trump finally done? Is it finally over? Like, can we finally move on from Trump? Is the question.
It's not over. It's not over. He's about to run. He's running in 2024. He's still pulling for the party
I would say
You know what I'm
DeSantis,
saying?
he won.
I think he's gonna have, he's gonna have some hot, because that's like the new hot up and comer
Yep.
in the Republican Party. So I mean, it's definitely not going to be sure. And I think what you were talking about with Gen Z, I think is kind of true. They have this pattern where like they're still trying to kind of cater to a specific, which just really isn't in this generation as much, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that are older, and I mean the numbers are dwindling for that audience. Like if they don't, a younger crowd. I mean, it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's not looking good. But like I said, they've read they're reading the room, and yeah, it's starting to get a little. It's not looking good for them. It's really not. So my hope. So a couple like key results. A lot of Trump endorsed candidates have lost. Dr. Oz is one of them. There's a candidate for Pennsylvania governor, I think, may have lost. I need to actually look at that. I don't have the results in front of me. I might pull that up now, actually. So, Lauren Boebert is losing her election right now. So that's Lauren Boebert is a huge Trump supporter out of Colorado. She's kind of known as like taking Zoom calls and like putting like guns like on her like behind her or whatever, and it's just it's just a joke, right? Yeah, totally happy that hopefully she's out of the Senate. Oh, also the first Gen Z congressman got elected in Florida, so not all bad in Florida, right?
Nice.
Gen Z congressman.
Remind me, man, did Stacey Abrams lose?
Yeah, she lost.
Did she lose?
Yeah, she did, unfortunately, which is a huge gut punch, like because of voter rights in Georgia.
Yeah, like
right?
that was literally her platform. It's just like
Yeah,
either y'all want these rights or you don't.
yeah, and I think it shows how hard it is for a black woman to still like succeed in America, right? And I think colorism is at play too, right? So I always often ask this question too: if Barack Obama was Michelle Obama's color tone, like would she be elected, right? And those are some of the things that we need to kind of ask ourselves. And I also think that's happening to Stacey Abrams now. I mean, she's more than qualified, and she essentially handed the Dems the victory for Joe Biden, essentially, right? So it's unfortunate that that she lost, but she says she's going to keep fighting, and I'm hoping she continues moving forward, right? So yeah, it's a tough thing, man. Tough thing. Really, really disappointed too that happened as well.
I'm disappointed in that, and then I'm disappointed in the Herschel Walker race. I forget
A lot
who was
closer
going
than
up
we
against,
thought it
but
was going
they're
to be.
really why?
Yeah, a lot closer than we would have liked that to be. So yeah.
Right? What are you saying?
And let's be honest too, like it's all about who takes the House or who takes the Senate, right? And as much as these people like to talk about value, that's not what it's about, right? It's about kind of taking the Senate, right, and owning the libs, right? So, and to do so, they would elect a guy who doesn't have a college degree, right? It's been shown that he doesn't have a college degree, right? And he lied about having a college degree. That's another important thing. It's the party of pro-life. Well, apparently he's paid multiple women off to have abortions, right? But they're still gonna vote for him because reasons, because they're full of themselves. So yeah, it's a really really unfortunate situation there. I hope that he pulls it out. Um, but we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see
Yep. Yep.
what happens. I'm actually pulling up the New York Times, and I have to log in. I don't feel like logging in right now. It's bullshit.
Don't you hate that?
Yeah,
Everybody
I have to log
wants you
in.
to have an account.
Yeah, that paywall is there, right? I mean, I don't feel like logging in right now, but yeah, New York Times is usually my go-to when it comes to election results. But anyway, yeah, that's good. So we'll see how this turns out. We don't know who's gonna hold the House or Senate. Republicans could still kind of hold both, right? But at least it's
It's a
not that
toss
red
up, man.
wave, huh?
It's a toss up. Yeah, it's a toss up.
Yeah, it's a toss up. It is a toss up, right? I am happy to see some of the hardliners get booted out, though. So Lauren Boebert getting booted out. I wish Marjorie Taylor Greene got booted out. Her opponent Marcus Flowers raised a shit ton of money, but she still beat him by 31 points. It wasn't even close. Yeah, in that election as well. Ron DeSantis won. I think Marco Rubio won as well. So yeah, we shall see. Rubio isn't as he isn't as crazy as some of his other members of his party though. So I'm not gonna go too hard into that though. But yeah. Other things that was on the ballot was slavery in 2022. Slavery was on the ballot.
Dude.
And what the F? Hey, Hawa.
Hey.
Been a minute. Old friend from our Deloitte days. Yeah, I'm totally glad Oz lost too. F that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
do you have the story from Instagram to post up real quick for people to see?
yeah.
Which states were?
Which states were what? I can't hear you.
Which states had the slavery abolishing slavery on the ballot?
Yeah, it's on the ballot. I don't have the story up. I can pull it up in a second. It's Sean King put something up, but apparently, let's see if I can pull this off. Okay. Let's see. Where are you? Back to yeah. I don't have it up. Oh, here it is. Perfect. I'll pull it up now.
I just pulled it up.
Yeah, this is from Sean King. So today, the good voters of Alabama, Oregon, and Tennessee, and Vermont voted to remove slavery as punishment for crime from their state constitution. Sadly, the voters of Louisiana literally voted to keep slavery. Louisiana is my home state. And if anyone ever wonders or asks if I'm ever moving back to Louisiana, this should tell you that's a hell fucking no. I will not move back to Louisiana. I still have my animated family there, so that sucks. But still, and these are people that will swear that they're not racist, but the very basic things that you can do, right? They choose not to do. It's 2022, and they voted to keep slavery, to keep it in their constitution, not to abolish it.
For prison laborers. That is how they make it okay, I guess.
Which is stupid. It's
right.
It's super frustrating. The fact that they want to make it okay with prison labor. So I don't have the notes with me now, but they tried this in Georgia, and it didn't work at all, right? And it's very telling because we know that we need police reform and prison reform, right? And this doesn't help with that. So big ups to Alabama. I can't believe Alabama has something over Louisiana with freaking removing prison reform. Um, Tennessee, Vermont, you know, thanks. Louisiana, what the fuck, Louisiana? It's like
But
a race to the
Vermont,
bottom.
I thought Vermont would have. I'm so surprised to see Vermont in the list of states.
Well, so in the 13th Amendment, like they abolished slavery with the exception of, prison, right? So that's where they do that. But that's not. Each state has the opportunity to kind of abolish it, and I'm surprised it's still on the ballot for states, right?
Exactly.
Even though it's like abolished federally, right? You think
But
it would have gotten that
you know
done
what that
already?
is, though. I mean, you know what that is, though. That's obviously most of the prison made up of people of color.
Yep.
So you still have slavery, and
Yeah.
one thing leads to another, right? We have the laws to put more of them in there. Yeah, boom, there's your labor force.
Mm-hmm.
So which is sad. You know what I'm saying?
It's very sad.
You know.
It's sad. It's frustrating. It's disheartening. We still have a long ways to go until we reach that perfect union.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, absolutely.
So hold on. So I'm reading this article from according to this, nearly 20 states have constitutions that include language permitting servitude as criminal punishments. In 2018, Colorado was the first to remove frameworks by ballot measure, followed by Nebraska and Utah 2 years. That's 3 states plus the five. Well, actually, plus the four, so they didn't remove it. So you still have a bunch of states out there that allow involuntary, slave labor, pretty much.
Yeah, we have a long ways to go, especially with prison reform. Like,
It's crazy.
we can have a whole episode on that, actually, right? Where we actually look at the laws. Like, there's actually laws where, well, I wouldn't say call they're laws, but contracts where a prison has to maintain, like private prisons have to maintain 97% like occupancy rate, and if they don't, they could tax or fine the state for not meeting that requirement, right? Like I don't have the notes in that now, so kind of take it with a grain of salt. But we'll have to do an episode where I have all my resources and everything in place to kind of display that. But like without knowledge there, that pushes more for like a lot of just high arrest. And who's gonna like feel the brunt of that? People like who are at the poverty level, and who are the people that tend to be at the poverty level? People of color, right? So it's amazing. That's how that works. That's how systemic racism works, right? And that's how we can dismantle some of these laws that are putting us in the situation here. But yeah, man, that's where we are with that. Any other thoughts on this? Because kind of want to move to Elon Musk now.
Yeah, we can move on.
Let's move on to Elon Musk. Did you like my tooltip? my thumbnail?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So me kind of feeling myself right now, made a thumbnail on Elon Musk, and it's freaking hilarious. I will share my shit just to like pat myself on the back for this one. So this is Elon Musk with devil horns and asking Twitter if we trust him, and it says no. So, oh my god! If you haven't been keeping up with this shit show that's happening with Twitter, let's run it back. All right. So earlier this year, Elon Musk impulsively says that he wanted to buy Twitter. He made a lot of, and he made a promise. And he does this all the time, right? Where he makes these promises and then kind of like backs out of this one, right? So he did it again, where he made the promise to say, "I'm going to buy Twitter," and then try to back out of it. And like the Twitter CEOs and like the board was like, "No, you're buying Twitter. F that," and he took him to court, right? They eventually settled, right? And he settled because he knew he was about to lose that case, right? Um, and when he buys Twitter, he immediately fires like the CEO, the CFO, like the board essentially. But they're fine because they get like $20 million payouts, right? So like they made millions of dollars based off of this guy's impulsiveness, right? So he comes in.
Yeah.
He comes in with a sink, right? As a joke because reasons. And he what does he do? He starts trying to like make these like drastic changes. He adopts this like 24/7 like work culture, where like a lot of people just have to work just a shit ton of hours to make things work, right? To get his idea. One of those ideas that he's trying to do was he's trying to charge people to be verified, right? So instead of them doing their due diligence and verifying you and going through an actual verification process, right? Anyone can pay $20 a month and be verified. The problem with this is that what if I paid $20 a month to get the blue check and then just said my name was Elon Musk or Barack Obama or Donald Trump or anything, right?
Yep.
And like as the smart guy that he likes to try to portray himself to be, like it's kind of sad that he didn't think this through, right? So yeah, Twitter is in a bit of a shit show right now. It's not to say that he won't turn it around. He's also said that he wants to bring back Donald Trump to the platform, which is just. Oh, he also used the platform to say to vote for Republicans this Congress. I mean, in midterms, right? So that kind of shows what he's doing, right? He's using it to be political and try to affect elections, right? So, yeah, we'll see where this goes from here. But I'll stop talking for a second and why don't you jump in then?
No, this one's all you, man. I like 3 times in my life.
He's like, I don't got
One's
shit
all
to say
you,
about
bub.
They got this guy. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean the whole thing has just been like I used to think he was like a pioneer. I really appreciated what he was trying to do with the Tesla car. Like, at this point, it's like he's almost turned into another Kanye. He's just like doing a bunch of crazy stuff and trying to make himself sound smarter than
It's pseudo intelligence, right? I'm gonna do an episode eventually on why this guy is not as great as we think he is. Again, he's the richest man in the world, right?
Yeah.
So he does deserve some credit from that, right? But at the same time, like maybe we should stop. And I'm not an anti-billionaire type person, but maybe we should stop making billionaires our heroes, right? Because the more we start looking at billionaires, specifically, like the more you like dirtiness that we see there, right? We saw this with Bill Gates, right? Him cheating on his wife, trying to coerce and sleep with like his subordinates, his employees, right? And that's what eventually got him to step down from Microsoft, right? We saw this with Steve Jobs. He did a bunch of fucked up shit, especially with his daughter, right? Yikes.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Be right back. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh boy, we gotta go on a 15-minute, a 10-minute break. So yeah. we're back. I think Nicholas is fighting through COVID. So I'm kidding.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That's actually not something we should joke about.
Can a
So
guy have the sniffles? Please.
he has the
My God.
sniffles. It's going around. It's that time of year. I actually need to get
Yeah.
my flu shot soon. I need to get a booster shot as well. But
Yep.
it's the time of year. So yeah, sniffles are going around. So yeah.
But you know what? You know what's funny though? So hold on to Elon Musk, right? Your boy MKBHD like tweeted something last week talking about how YouTube is the only S-tiered social like that for long. I don't really know what that means. Maybe you do.
Yeah, I mean, I actually looked that up a little bit, and the way it's just him saying that YouTube is the best place for social media creators. That's essentially what he's saying, right? And he actually had a whole video on this, and I watched like about half of it, right? He tweeted that Elon Musk says for now, right? So he also pointed out that Twitter has less active users than like all the other social platforms, but they have the most impact almost, right? Someone puts out a tweet, like everyone sees it, right? And news people, well, the news or media picks up on it heavily. So, yeah, we'll see how this works with Elon Musk. I'm like I said, eventually I'm going to do a video. I've done a little bit of research already, right? On like where he gets like, well, why he's probably shouldn't be the hero that we look up to. One of the things that he's done is to purchase Tesla. What he did was he was actually bought out of PayPal, right? Because he allowed like a security flaw there. So they paid him and like pushed him out. And he used that buyout money to actually buy early on Tesla, right? And yeah, I've been playing Gran Turismo again recently. And like if you look at the Tesla on Gran Turismo, it shows that like Elon Musk is the founder of Tesla, and that's only like half true. Like, is he founder because he bought early, and he's they went to court to label him and like 3 other people the founder of Tesla. So something to keep in mind. He's an opportunist, and I can't fault him for being an opportunist. I'm not going to undermine him for being an opportunist, right? But I'm not going to be like, oh, this guy's a super genius that means good for everyone else. Like, no, that's not how it is. It's really not. So it's not. We need to stop looking at billionaires. And this is a tongue-in-cheek comment. We need to cancel the word freaking genius. Because if people use that word to justify their bullshit, like that's bad. Speaking of bullshit, segue, Kyrie Irving. So great segue, isn't it? Have you been keeping up with the shit that Kyrie Irving has been saying? This guy graduated from YouTube University.
The earth is flat. The earth is flat.
The earth is flat. Coronavirus is fake. The guy's seen like spreading incense throughout, like the basketball court before games, whatever. And it's like this guy just needs help. So let's talk about Kyrie Irving for a second. For those who don't know, right? So Kyrie Irving's kind of known. He's an NBA basketball player. For those who aren't sports fans, for the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, he joined like KD to join a super team, and they just really underperformed. They actually just had their coach fired recently. So he has come out and said just controversial things about not wanting a vaccine shot, right? So he never got his vaccine shot, and as a result, he lost. He was banned from playing from the NBA for a long period of time. Until like the Nets caved and let them play for certain games. And then New York caved and let him play for like the rest of his games. But he lost like millions of dollars for COVID. He also lost he's also about to lose millions of dollars for his recent comments in which he posted an article. Well, he posted about a documentary, a book that comes off as anti-Semitic, right? The book is called "Hebrews, Negroes, Wake Up, Black America," right? I was having this discussion with like one of our friends that the author may be a black Jesuit, which is like a very radical group out in DC. That you may see him if you're walking around DC, you'll see him a lot.
Yeah.
You may see him like just kind of chanting and yelling and just undermining just everyone, to be honest with you, right? Um, so yeah, that's kind of where that is. So he tried to push that book, and he got extreme pushback. This is after Kanye West pushed this book, and I think I find this interesting how these
Whoa,
guys.
whoa, 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 whoa. Kanye,
Hmm?
Kanye West pushed
Kanye,
this book?
no, Kanye West didn't push the book. My apologies. He did not push the book. Kanye West said some anti-Semitic stuff as
Oh, okay.
well, right? Um, and then as a result, Kyrie Irving pushed this book as well.
But
So
go back if you go back and look at the tweet. This is the issue with some of the social media stuff too.
mhm,
All he did was publish, tweet a movie or whatever it is, right?
yes,
No context, no nothing,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and I do want to talk about that too.
Immediately, immediately, it's like he gets demonized, and it's like you he did it. I almost feel like he did it to himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You can't put something out like that in this atmosphere, in this environment, to get that type of feedback. Like you just can't.
yeah.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
understand his influence, right? You reach out to, you say
He does.
something,
He
millions of
absolutely
people
understands
will listen to
his
you,
influence.
right? So yeah, and if you understand that, then you need to understand that you need to have some level of being able to fact check your shit, right? You can't just post anything out and not expect to get like pushback, right? So if you're gonna push something like this out, you need to really know your shit, right? Um, Now that being said, there's another piece to this as well, right? And that's to how certain people are judged differently than others, right? Because Kanye West said some anti-Semitic shit, he got booted from like everyone, right? Lost billions of dollars. Um, as he should have been, as should have, right? Kyrie Irving posted this shit, right? And he got like booted, right? Or he got like a reprimanded for that, right? As he should have been, right? My problem though is that we don't judge everyone by the standard, right? So for example, um, Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? We just talked about it earlier this in the episode, right? She was known for saying, "Oh, there are Jewish space lasers pointing down at us" in one Facebook post. And this is someone who is in Congress. This is someone that is going to be sitting on some advisory board. This is someone that affects policy, that votes on policy, right? As much as
Yep.
we dislike and Kyrie Irving, and I dislike what he's about and what he's trying to do. Same thing with Kanye West. They're not policymakers. She is, right? And she gets to go and run, stay in Congress and win elections, right? Um,
Good point.
what else? Yeah. I'm looking at the so I was looking at an article earlier today as to what he has to do to. Oh, one other thing I wanted to point out too. This book that he is pushing, right, is on Amazon, right? So again, we got on Kyrie Irving to for publishing this book on his Twitter and making this more feasible. But why? When are we going to get on Elon Musk? Well, not Elon Musk. The other billionaire, Jeff Bezos, or Amazon, right? On why he's selling this book, right? If we can cancel books from schools, right? That's teaching, like teachers that don't want to teach about like race and equality in schools anymore, right? Or not anymore, ever, right? They don't want to teach about racial inequality. but we're allowing this, and we're punishing Kyrie Irving for publishing this book, but we're not punishing Amazon for still having this on their website. And if you take a look at some of the ratings, a lot of the stuff are new ratings. Thanks, Kyrie, for pointing your people towards the light, right? They're making money off of this, right? These are just bought books. They just bought these. They're making money off of this. This is another book. They're making money off of this, but we're punishing Kyrie Irving for this as well, right? So that's something that's worth looking at. Again, we don't freaking condone at all what Kyrie Irving's doing. I think he guy needs to understand the impacts of what he's saying and why conspiracies are conspiracies, right? We talked about this in this episode, to do your due diligence, right? Not do your research, right? Because people do their research and come up with like the earth is flat, like Kyrie Irving did. This guy went to Duke, by the way. But do your due diligence, right? Do your research, right? Don't do your research, but don't do it to confirm your biases. That's the important thing, and that's the thing that's Kyrie Irving's missed. One other thing I wanted to point out too was the article that in the wake of Kyrie Irving's tweet, and a lot of people think he's done with basketball. People don't think he's going to recover from this, and I kind of agree, right?
Yeah. It's right.
It's hard enough for black men in America. Think about a freaking anti-Semitic one as well, right? Right. But these are some of the things that he has to do for him to. So he's been suspended from the Nets. I think they may have reversed that decision. I'm not sure anymore. But these are some of the things that he has to kind of do. So one of them, issue an apology for posting a link to the movie on October 7 and condemn the harmful and false content. So he's already done that, right? Complete anti-hate causes that and then he donated $500,000 to the Jewish Defense League, right? Complete sensitivity training created by the Nets, right? Complete anti-Semitic, anti-hate training designed by the Nets, right? Meet with representatives of the Anti-Defamation League as well as the Jewish community leaders in Brooklyn, right? And after competing 1 to 5, meet with owner Joe Tsai and lead franchise officials to demonstrate the lessons he learned. And this kind of seems a little childish.
So I wanted to comment on this too. I remember a while back when what was it? What's that Star Wars? And Gina Carano.
Oh, Gina Carano. Yeah. Yep.
Was that stuff, right?
Yep.
What happened?
We did an episode of that.
Her? Okay. She lost her role in the show.
Yep.
And then
it took him a while to do that, though. It wasn't immediate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here comes Kyrie. One tweet with no context and belittle himself to the Nets organization and make. I just think what he, it's a tweet that it was not sensitive to a certain group of people or whatnot, and what he tweeted out, the message that's in that book. Again, I haven't even read the book, but if it's viewed as being anti-Semitic, then hey, it is what it is, right? I wouldn't support it, but at the same time, it's just look at the difference in the punishment. He has to make off. When Gina Carano got in trouble, I'm pretty sure she continued tweeting out. Pretty sure she continued tweeting out the same crap. Right?
Yeah. No. So Gina Carano tweeted out a lot of false stuff. So she tweeted out false election narratives, and this was before January 6th. And then what she tried to do was compare Republicans to the Jews pre-Holocaust, or around the Hitler's time, right? which is just amazingly fucked up, right? So Disney fired her, but she got rehired again by Ben Shapiro and whatever his fucking fucktard group is.
Somebody came
Yeah,
to her aid. Just
yeah,
Nike.
and no one's
Nike's
gonna come back
current
Kyrie
way
Irving's
was.
aid.
I mean, this cat. I mean, he's at least Kyrie. Right? He had to deal with Nike. He's getting buku money off that. He had to, he's a, and I feel like at this
Oh,
point,
Nike's done with him. Nike's done with him. You know that, right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think
Yeah. Okay.
at this point, he himself is over basketball too. I think he has a different agenda now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he did was right or excusable, right? But at some point, I don't even know where to go with it. It's like what
Yeah.
what is okay to put on social media and what is I don't know anymore, right?
Well, I
Supposedly
mean,
we're his free speech. You're supposed to embrace his free speech, but then
well,
you know
free speech is not freedom
I
of
don't know, man.
responsibility, though.
That is
Free
true.
speech is not freedom of responsibility, right? Like if you want to ask the question, what do we not put on social media? That shit. That being said, though, right? Are the punishments equal for everyone when they say
Absolutely
things like
not.
this? And that's
That was
my
a
problem.
link to a book, anything.
Yeah,
About
that's the problem.
the Jewish community or anything. It was a link to a
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah. And I honestly was tempted to read the book just to do my due diligence.
I was.
And this is again coming from a guy who thinks vaccines are fake and the earth is flat, right? So even knowing that, I was gonna still get the book just to do my due diligence, but I'm not gonna do it anymore because all this has like happened and whatnot, and there's really no need anymore. But yeah, it's very telling. Someone else also pointed
By
out
the way,
too.
I forgot it was like a famous astronomer or whatever. He posted a picture because of what was going on, the lunar eclipse of a flat
Neil
Earth would
deGrasse
look like.
Tyson.
Shit was
Yeah,
hilarious.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Back it up, man.
I've
That
seen
had
that
me cracking
before. Yeah.
up today.
Yeah. By the way, the red moon was, I think, yesterday or so. People thought it was going to be the red wave, but that didn't happen. But yeah, no. Also, in more evidence of people aren't being punished equally, Brett Favre. So I don't know if you heard about Brett Favre and this nonsense that he's done.
We
Right?
talked about it.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we talked.
Yeah,
we
about
did. It. What's happened to this
Brett
guy?
Favre. Huh? Yeah, and nothing's happened to him. Nothing has happened to him. Nothing. So if you guys don't know, Brett Favre worked with, I think was the governor of Alabama or Mississippi, I don't remember which state, to take money from welfare recipients, right? So the fund that's meant for welfare, he took that money, right, to help build his daughter's high school volleyball, like what is it, stadium or gym or whatnot, right? Amazingly effed up, and nothing. We haven't heard any lawsuit. He's not in jail or anything. No punishment. Definitely hasn't have to do like a 6-step apology tour either, right? So, like that's kind of where we are with this, right? Where, again, I can't condone at all anything what Kyrie Irving is saying or doing as someone who's a fan of science myself, right? Fucking, you say some fucking. It makes me wonder if these guys need to just stop like thinking that they're smart and just get fucking help. That's I think that's where we are now. And you see that with Kanye West, you see that a little bit with Kyrie Irving, you see that with freaking Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk, who also has fathered babies with employees, his own employees too.
Yeah.
For Starlink employees.
About Kanye though.
Go ahead.
And I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, like a little bit off his rocker. But
A little
And
bit.
I
A little bit.
feel like he's trying to communicate something. He has a message. Is that somebody like really needs to for his message to get across? Like if you feel like with like the media or the fashion world is controlled by certain people, yada yada yada, way to say that rather than just like throwing this crazy tirade we're trying to make just gets lost in the flames, right? And I
Yeah.
mean, there's a way to want to just, you know, but the Kyrie thing is just like you gotta act, bro. Like tweet what you want, man. But I mean, something like that, you gotta have some content. I feel like if he had tweeted something like, "I read this book," or "this book link," that's different than just
I still think it'd be
no
the same.
context
I
and
still
people
think it'd
running
be the same.
it off.
I still think it'd be in the same boat, right? Because in that position, you can't just post shit like that. You have to be able to say, okay, I read the book. I posted. I read the book. What part of it do you have a issue with, right? Is it this
Yeah,
part? And here's my evidence to say that says that this is legitimate, right? Like it has to
right.
be that granular, right? To do that. You can't just post the link. You can't even just post the link and say, "Oh, I read it." That's fine, right? If you're gonna post something that's controversial, you better be able to freaking back it up with facts, with evidence. And given the
Yeah.
guy thinks that the Earth is flat and that vaccines don't work, I'm not too. I'm not helping. I'm not really confident that he's coming up with facts.
I'm basing
So,
everything off those two previous actions, but when you look at what he says in the reporters after the incident, he had he didn't really explain. He had no remorse for it, so what.
yeah, of
You know what I
course
mean?
not.
Like
The guy,
you
he thinks he's
gotta
Neo.
you gotta
He thinks he's Neo, and that
they were
he's the one that's freed from the Matrix, and we're all like sleeping. That's what he thinks he is. Him, Kanye, they all think that, right? And they haven't realized is that if you think everyone else is like sane except for you, so Jay-Z had like a great verse in in one of his albums, right? If you're thinking like everyone else is insane except for you, maybe it's you the one that's insane and everyone else is okay, right?
yeah.
That's something that you gotta think about. Again, I would say as much as I dislike and I think this guy sucks now because I had so much respect for Kyrie Irving and Kanye West. Kyrie Irving, Uncle Drew, love those commercials, man.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, he just the guy lost his shit, man. And we have to, as people of color, as black men, we have to be careful of who we let represent us, right? Because they will tear us down regardless, right?
No.
Look at Obama. The guy was far from perfect, but was a great example of a politician. No major, controversies, and they still tore him down, right? So of course they're gonna freaking tear down Kyrie Irving, Kanye West, and anyone else, right? So that's the frustrating thing that I see. Like again, do your due diligence, right? And that's more than just confirming your own biases. Is challenging your own biases as well, right? That's the thing that he needs to understand. And this little thing that the Nets have him doing, it's not going to work, right? It's not going to change his mentality. His mentality is, look, you have an opinion, you have controversial opinions, that's fine, but you better be ready to. If you have those controversial opinions, you better be ready to defend them. You better be ready to do your research. You better be ready to present your evidence. If you're not willing to go that far, like any idiot can post a link on a controversial book. Any idiot can say, "Oh well, I think this is this. I think the Earth is flat. You guys are all sleeping." I mean, there are real conspiracies that we need to like get down on right now. For example, why the hell did Louisiana vote for freaking slavery? you know, like focus on that shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's a big one. You play in Louisiana occasionally, right? Focus on that, right? That's a problem. So yeah, shit like that, that needs to be like resolved. That could use your attention, and not like shit like this that's not based off of any evidence, right? That's the frustrating thing. I wish, like, instead of like this nonsense that they kind of gave him to do, right? To say, hey, you need to understand what conspiracies are, right? And how they can be dangerous, right? I am for freedom of speech. Yes, like we are right now using our freedom of speech. Right now, right? Are using our freedom of speech.
Right.
That being
Yeah.
said, we're not saying shit like, "Oh, we should go attack a Trump supporter or whatnot." That's not what we're trying to do, right? We're not telling people to hurt thy neighbor, or we're not pushing any like right or left wing conspiracy theories, right? We're just kind of giving the world as our view, and we're doing it with some facts. Like you see us presenting articles, you see us giving references, right? We see us doing our due diligence,
Wikipedia,
right?
baby.
Yeah, you know, even with our, we don't have nearly. So what's sad about this too is that we both have day jobs. We don't have nearly as the following as like these guys that are doing it, but we're doing way more research to to read about.
75.
Yeah, yeah. So it's frustrating to see, but
Man.
I digress.
No, that's that's what that's why we to kind of take it into see how far we can take it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
It's an interesting time now.
Yeah,
It's just an interesting
yeah, it is
time
an
now.
interesting time. It is definitely an interesting time because I'm for freedom of speech, right? But at the same time, who does it truly benefit? Let's say if some incel right wing bro talks about like freeing Michigan. I'm talking about Trump right at this point, right? Freeing Michigan. And then like some right wing group, like extremist group, says, oh, 10-4, and then tries to make a plan to kidnap the Michigan governor, who just won her re-election, by the way. Like how far does it go? Right? If you're pushing fake election conspiracies, right? And then people use that to attack the Capitol, only the second time in history that the Capitol has been breached, right? Like, how far does that go? So we have to ask ourselves those kind of questions, right? Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of responsibility, right? It does not mean freedom of accountability, right? And if you're saying some fuck shit,
I agree.
That other people are like taking this and saying, oh, 10-4, let's go fuck some shit up, then you need to take some level of accountability on that too, right? And that's kind of where we're not are. That's where we're not right now. Not are. That's weird. That's where we're not right now.
I would like to. I wish I knew a person of Jewish descent. Thought some of the comments recently that have been made by like people like Kyrie and yeah. Like I'd love to get a better understanding of what anti-Semitism is. That term being thrown around.
Yeah.
Because in a way, I'm wondering if it's getting thrown around like critical race theory is, a set of concepts that's a college level concept, right? Now that we're talking about teaching actual history in school, now it's they're teaching critical race theory. I'm just wondering,
That's too woke. That's woke. Woke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm making that comparison, right? But I'd be curious to talk to someone from that community who could on some real shit.
Yeah, no, I definitely would love to talk to someone from that community. If anyone wants to join the show as a guest, as an opportunity, definitely want to hear your perspective.
For our email, man, you can email us. Yeah,
email us. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. We're there. Amazon. We're there. So follow us or be square. Dollars are horrible. That was horrible. It's fine. I do want to play one more video. I forgot to play this earlier. be careful. The aspect ratio is going to probably suck, but I want to show this guy as well.
What I'd like to say as a young black youth is that I feel that America has subjected me to a Holocaust. You understand? From all my ancestors all the way back to even right now, Rodney King, the brother Staten Island, all we've been subject to is death and destruction here. And as far as Jewish people, in the Bible, it say that ye are of the synagogue of Satan. And I'd like to ask you people, why do you feel that you have cornered the market on sympathy, and why can't you feel the pain of the black Holocaust? Why do you think that when we say the black Holocaust, that it's some blasphemous statement? I'd like for y'all to address that. Yes. All right.
So, interesting points there. It's hard to
shut him down.
Yeah, it's hard to compare two different atrocities, right?
Yeah.
Right. I think an old friend says, compared it as this: whose shit smells worse, right? Probably not the best analogy for this one, but yeah, it's.
But okay, that you played that video, right?
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff that I feel like people, and it's just not coming out the way it's supposed to. And as soon as those types of comments are made, demonized, anti-Semitic, cancel them, lose all your money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, I would love to talk to somebody from that community just so I can understand. And I would like, that is how some black people feels. Like, yo, we are still out here, that and the third, trying to say that Black Lives Matter and getting stomped down over.
All lives matter. No.
Right? White lives matter.
I'm not racist. I watch Candace Owens.
We're getting beaten down for pointing out the fact that the atrocities that happen, that are the laws that are in place to keep us down.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna go, you might curriculum or whatever, but same thing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's a fine line, man.
I made this comment in our last episode, or in one of our last episodes, where anti-Semitism,
hard to say.
It's late. Anti-Semitic and racism are one the same, right? When someone makes an anti-Semitic comment, right, I'm on alert, right? Because if you know anything about World War II, Hitler didn't like black people either, right? He hated the Jews, but he also hated black people, right? Whenever I hear someone making anti-Semitic comments, I'm on alert because I know you may not be talking about me next, but I know I'm on your list, right? I'm not far behind, right? And I like to hope that when someone makes a racial comment, people of the Jewish community are on alert, right? Because they may be targeting us now, but you're not far afterwards. So often these two are one and the same, right? You see the KKK, they hate Jewish people, they hate people of color, right? They hate anyone that's not white, right? And that's something to be mindful of. But yeah, that's kind of that. That's kind of pretty much all I got to say about that. Anything else, Nicholas?
No, sir. All points have been made. No, that was a really good clip, man. So all the videos that we played tonight, I think, are made some. So yeah, good job on that one, man.
I'll take applause. Pat myself in the back. Yeah, no, it was a good episode today. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for commenting, commenting, subscribing. Again, if you comment, you will see your name on here.
One more thing. Episodes 77 will be available to listen to on Spotify, Amazon tonight. you're behind on some of the episodes, then
Yes, please watch. Yeah, so we use Anchor. So that puts us on Spotify. That puts us on where else?
Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcast, and then
Yeah.
So I don't, it's interesting how some of this stuff works, right? Because I wouldn't even until I got an email from Amazon suggesting that we're out there, right? Somehow, I don't know, whatever algorithm we got found, go Amazon. Right?
Yeah, Amazon.
F Jeff Bezos, but go Amazon.
That's something else that we gotta talk about. Like with these billionaires, right? They're not saints, but they do make our lives more convenient. Sit there and talk shit about like Amazon all the time, but I still have my Amazon Prime, and I still watch my Amazon video.
Oh man,
So,
almost forgot, man. We almost forgot to talk about the freaking lottery. As a billionaire, somebody won that.
We can talk about that a little
Somebody
bit. Yeah, I
won
was
that.
going to mention about Black Panther
One
coming out
ticket.
tomorrow.
I'm going to see it on Saturday. I'll be ready to talk about it next week.
Yeah, yeah, we're going to be talking about that for sure. So excited for that one. Haven't seen Black Adam yet, so I got to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm surprised you haven't seen Black Adam yet. You, the Mr. DC guy. I heard it was not a terrible movie. So, yeah, I thought it was, yeah. But yeah, nope. Black Panther comes out tomorrow, so excited to see that. Excited to see Neymar. Oh, I kind of spoiled it for myself a little bit by just looking at the cast, but whatever. So, yeah, don't spoil it for yourself looking at the cast. Yeah.
Well, I spoiled it for me by I read a review too.
Oh, really? Yeah.
The movie starts out with just tell me if it's good or not.
Yeah, exactly. That's the tough thing now, man. You got to be able to like distance yourself from all of these review sites and whatnot. Thankfully, I didn't care enough about Black Adam to be spoiled by it. So, like I saw some of the reviews and I saw like The Rock, and I was like, this would be shitty, and it wasn't that shitty. It was kind of shitty, at least the reviews. But I'll watch it and we'll review it in like fully. So,
yeah, I gotta
get that done. All right, cool. Nicholas's bedtime is past, so I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you guys. Respect you guys. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Bye-bye. Until next time.